All right, now that you're back and you have listened to that song and hopefully jammed out, maybe played it twice because it was just that good, let's get into our criteria for success. Okay? Our criteria for success is we're going to complete the notes on mythology and background information. We're going to watch the learn video and we're going to complete all sections of the KWL chart. Okay, so without further ado, let me go ahead and navigate to where that is for you. Again, it's under the Thursday folder for week 3, so September the 3rd, 2020. And it's right here, it says Mythology, Notes, and KWL Chart. And I'm sorry, that's technical difficulties. Mythology, Notes, and KWL Chart. Remember, you're also going to say My Documents up here. So you're going to click on that, and that's how you're going to start your get your copy of the assignment. Okay, I've already done have it populated. So this is what it looks like, and the popcorn. I thought that was cute, and mostly because we see a lot of mythical gods and goddesses, demigods, and stuff like that in movies. A lot of our background knowledge typically comes from that first. But you may have a different experience, but in my experience, I learned of a lot of the gods and goddesses and demigods through movies. Okay? So, the criteria for success is also on our in our document here. Let's get into our key points. So we go down to the very next page of our document, our KWL, Mythology KWL chart. And these are our key points, and you're literally filling in the blanks. Made it a little bit more simpler for you today, just to move it along a lot faster, because I know that you guys have some catching up to do in order to make sure that you have everything you need before progress reports are due on Friday. Yes, I'm going to run it down like a broken record because I want you guys to be great. And so the way I do that is I'm trying to help you move along as fast as possible. Okay? So our key points for today. First, we're going to talk about schema. Okay? What is schema? Schema is the experiences we've had, places we've been, people we've met, books we've read, people we know, just everything in our brains that stuck with us. Whatever that's in your brain, whatever's in your mind right now, even things that are like in the back of your mind, all of your memories, that schema, that is your prior knowledge. Okay, so right here it says schema is everything I already know. Remember I said when you see the bolded words, it's probably going to be something that you have to write down. That is exactly what's happening here. So schema is everything I already know. Hopefully you have this video up alongside your handout or your journal. It makes it a lot easier. I am not going to do it like that right now because I have a lot of things on my desktop. So just put it like this. Schema is everything I already know. Okay. Schema is my prior knowledge and my past experiences. Okay. So same thing, bolded words here. So I'm going to go to my notebook and I'm going to put prior knowledge and past experiences. This is what schema is. Okay, you can bold it or you don't have to, but I like to keep it bold. But that is very important for you to understand. It's like that's a big word. It's a small word with a big meaning. Okay, and it's something that you use all of the time without even thinking about it. Okay, so you use your schema all the time when you're talking about Fortnite and what you did and how you got to a certain level. You're activating your prior knowledge of the game when you're talking with your friend about how you got someplace. Simply, we talked about in the first week of classes, we talked about how you making connections with certain things, and how you see a post on social media and you repost it because you connect with it. You connect with it because you have had a past experience or prior knowledge of whatever that post is talking about, whatever that meme is talking about. That's exactly what schema is. Making connections, okay? Why schema? So why do we need it? Why do we need to think about our prior knowledge? Why do we need to think about our past experiences? Why is that important? Especially, why is it important right now in the English class? Why will it be important in your social studies or science or literally everything in life? Why is it important? Thinking about what we know is a foundation for comprehension. What does that mean, Mrs. McCoy? Thinking about what we know is the basics, the base level for how we understand things. If we have a foundation or we know a little bit about something, it's going to help us it can help us understand something else, or help us to understand things on a bigger level or on a greater level. Okay, so let's go to our notes, our key point notes. Thinking about what we can know is a foundation for comprehension. So we're going to go to our notes. Think about what we know is a foundation to comprehension. That is not right. Bold minds, you can do whatever you like. You can highlight it, whatever it takes to have it to stick in your brain. Okay, so that is why it is important for us to use prior knowledge, background knowledge, schema. All of those words are synonyms. They're synonymous. They mean the similar things. It is important for us to know that everything that's we already have a foundation for stuff in our education. When you went to elementary school, when you went to preschool, when you went to then you went to middle school, you have foundational knowledge of things, and so that is your schema. That is your prior knowledge. Those are your past experiences. And so what we do is we build on that in order to comprehend or understand things on another level. Okay? Readers who activate prior knowledge make connections to the text. We talked about this first week of school. Connections to the text. We're going to be talking about this until the end of the school. And you'll probably be talking about it in 10th grade, and you're probably talking about it in 11th and 12th. You're not going to talk about it and when you get to collegiate or university level, or even in go into a professional, but you are going to undoubtedly, without a doubt, make connections to text, whether it be your employee manual, whether it be your manual to learn to fix that car, whether it be working in English 101 at the university, whatever it takes, you are going to make connections. And how do you make those connections? By activating prior knowledge That's going to help you to make those connections. Okay. So we see activate and connections are bolded. We're going to go to our notes and we're going to say readers who activate, is important to activate prior knowledge, make connections to the text. Okay. All right. So that is what schema is. In a nutshell, everything you already know, all of your prior knowledge, all of your prior experiences, and it's important to use schema to activate prior knowledge so that you can make connections and to comprehend. Okay? Let's move into mythology. Okay? Mythology. So you've done your due now. You've watched the You're Welcome video with Maui from the Polynesian demigod from Moana, and you thought about if you even knew what mythology was. Think about that as I present this information to you now. Now, first, I wanted to break down the word mythology, because mythology has two as a base word and it has a root word, right? So myth is a traditional or legendary story, usually concerning some being or hero or event, like Maui from Moana, with or without a determination, basis, or fact, or a natural explanation. Okay, let me break that down before I move on to the rest of that. It's saying that a myth is a story, traditional story. Maybe it was handed down from, your ancestors, any and all ancestors from all walks of life, from all parts of the world. Okay, the story usually has a hero or a super event. Think about the Big Bang. Think about the creation of the world and how everybody has a different way of saying it. Some people say it's this way. Some people say it's that way. Myths typically is what they are underlined or what they're called. Now, it says that it does not have a determinable basis or fact. No one knows if it's true because nobody was here. Like there was not were you here? Your ancestors wasn't here. We don't know how we came to be. And so people come up with or we don't have a concrete evidence of what was before us. We just go by what we think, and we go off of these traditional and legendary stories handed down to us by our ancestors. Okay, so that when they say natural explanation, there's nothing in nature that help us to help us to figure out how it happened. It's so many theories. There's Pangea. There's so many different theories, but nobody knows with certainty. So they call it a myth. Now, most of these myths, especially ones that is concerned, have deities, and demigods, which is gods, goddesses, and demigods, like that. Usually very religious, or sometimes not that religious. Okay, and it explains some practice, right, of phenom of nature. Like again, how did the world come to be? Why the earth? Why America is shaped the way it is? Why Africa is shaped the way it is? How people came to be? Those are explanations of phenom or nature. Okay, so that is what myths are. So let's go to our notes, because we see we have some bolded words: traditional or legendary, story. So it says a myth is traditional or legendary story with or without a determinable basis of, let's go back to the slide, is bolded, or natural explanation. Okay. So I'm going to go back to my notes and I'm going to put fact or natural explanation. Right? Yeah, right. So I have here examples. So we saw deities, which is like gods and goddesses, and demigods. And I have a space for another one, and you can put like four. You go back to the slide, you see Maui, you see Percy Jackson, who's the son of Poseidon, who's the god of war in Greek mythology. You see Thor, also in Greek mythology. I am wearing the Eye of Horus. These earrings are a symbol, Egyptian symbol, the Eye of Horus. Horus is an Egyptian god of the sky, and so these earrings or this symbol is supposed to mean protection, and so that's why I wear them. And it's from my African roots, and so I'm into that type of thing. So this is another example of mythology and how it integrates into our lives and shapes our beliefs, right? Okay, so we know what a myth is. A myth is traditional or legendary story with or without a determinable basis of fact or natural explanation. We understand that their examples are deities, demigods, and people like Thor. Now let's get into ology. Remember, I said I was breaking it down. Ology. So what is ology? Ology is a subject of study. So you probably, if you're in biology right now, you have probably already been introduced to what ology is. And so mythology is, well, ology is a subject of study. Myth is a traditional or legendary story. So when we put those things together, what myth is, what ology is, we get a non-historical or an unverifiable story handed down by tradition from earlier times and properly accepted as historical. Right? Okay, so let's go to our notes. I see that a subject of study is bolded. I'm going to highlight and copy it so I can move the lesson along, but you guys will write it in right under ology. Okay, let me move this up. If you need to, you may or may not need to. You can always move things up in order to get everything on the page or make things smaller. So mythology, we also saw some more bolded. We saw non-historical or unverifiable. So I'm going to copy non-historical, put it in there, make it smaller. I remember unverifiable, so I'm going to write that. And then story handed down by tradition from, and I remember earlier times. And popularly accepted as historical. So let's recap. Okay, we know that a myth is a traditional or legendary story that does not have a determinable basis of fact or a natural explanation. Stories that have people like deities and or not people, stories that have deities and demigods like Thor and Percy Jackson, and Poseidon and Maui and Horus, those are types of stories or examples that you will see in stories that are considered myths. Ology, we know, is a subject of study. And so mythology is the study of non-historical or unverifiable. We don't know. We can't figure it out because we were not alive then. So the story was handed down by tradition from our ancestors from earlier times. And so we accept it as historical, but it's not necessarily historical. It can just simply be a story that is made up. Okay? So without further ado, after our key points, we're going to go into our KWL chart. Okay? Our KWL chart is where we're going to organize our thoughts on the topic of mythology. Okay? So we talked about schema and activating that prior knowledge. This is where you're going to take what you know, marry it with what you want to know, and then learn something and put that information. This is how you're going to organize all those thoughts. This is your criteria for success. Here again, you're going to write your name. I'm going to write mine just so you can see me. Write my name. And as you can tell, every time you see like a little keyboard, that's when you know you're supposed to type something. Okay? So the topic is mythology. And again, K is what do I know? K is for know. W, what do I want to know? The W is for want. L, what did I learn? The L is for learn. So I want you to use your notes from your musical metaphor to write what you know about mythology. The reason why I had you guys to do your do now with writing or thinking about what you knew about mythology already is so you could just simply copy and paste right into here. Okay? If you want to, streamline it, make a little bit more sense, because this one this spelling is going to count for this one, then do that. But for the sake of this exercise, I am going to write what I know. And I'm going to take it from a perspective of a person who did not know very much. And so I'm going to put, I know that mythology is something that has to do with gods and goddesses. I'm going to put, there's probably too many. Yep. I'm going to put, I know that Thor, let's capitalize his name, Maui, Horus are gods and demigods who are in different worldviews about how the world was made. Okay? Now, your no is not going to be my no. I know usually we copy whatever I put, but this time your no is going to be whatever you know. Whatever you know, whatever's true to you, and there is no wrong or right when it comes to what you know. Well, there is wrong or right to what you know, but this is what you think that it is about. So you can learn more, and once you learn more, you can say, well, I thought that mythology had people like Harry Potter in it, but really it doesn't. I found out that it has blah 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 blah. Right? So what's true to you is what you would put in what do I know. And then you put, what do I want to know? Okay. Now, it's again, is this what's true to you? Now, if you're anything like me, it's like, well, I don't know what I want to know. What do I want to know? I don't know. What do I want to know? Do I even really want to know anything? Let's be real. Let's be honest. But so what I did is I created a want. And so you can watch this video if you need help figuring out what you want to know, and then write it in the W section of your KWL chart. So this is about a minute and a half, or 2 minutes long. It's like a crash course on mythology. It's a preview. So it's like going to give you more information than what I've already told you, and give you an idea. So, okay, well, maybe I want to know more about this or that. And that's what it's designed for. So at your leisure, as you're doing the assignment, you can watch that for 2 minutes. I am going to put, I want to know the similarities of the different types of mythology. That's what I want to know, Mrs. McCoy. So you're going to want to know something different, or you may want to know something similar, but what I'm saying is you're not going to put the exact same thing that I put. Okay. And then finally, you're going to put, what did I learn? It's like, Miss McCoy, we didn't really talk more about mythology. I know we talked. So you may put like, I learned, and you may go to your key points and say, I learned that schema. Well, I learned that, a myth is traditional or legendary. I learned that non-historical or unverifiable story handed down by tradition from earlier times. That's mythology. You may put one of those things, but you have to watch the video on the learn to get at least one thing out of this video and put in your learn section. So just to verify that you actually watched the video. So it's about 5 minutes long, and it's going to tell you, it's a crash course on what is myth and mythology, and it's going to give you some more information about mythology. So watch the video. You can click this little thing and it'll take you back to the KWO chart, and then you're going to put, I learned that blah, 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 blah. Okay? So let's recap of what the next steps are. You're going to complete your KWL chart. And if you need to write your note, continue writing your notes if you need to, whatever you need to do to get this assignment done, do that and then submit your assignment to me. Next thing, very important, check your grades in the Home Access Center, not Schoology. There are a number of grades in Schoology, but you're going to see 6 grades in the Home Access Center. So the way that it's working for these 3 9 weeks, I chose 6 of the must-do assignments, and I imported those into the Home Access Center. You must complete at least those 6 assignments before Friday. All the assignments are necessary, but these 6 assignments need to be done before Friday at 12 o'clock. So you have today, the rest of today, and then you have Friday in morning to get it done. Complete all the missing assignments. Don't tell me you don't have a missing assignment, because most of you do. So go in, please correct those missing assignments. If you're not sure which one I'm referring to, if you're confused, what have you, I am available to you. You can email me, you can message me on Schoology, you can DM me on Instagram, you can call me at the phone number provided on our website. Whatever you need to do to contact me, please contact me, and I'm going to try my best to get back with you, because it is a number of you, and if you all call or all kind of contact me at the same time, then of course I won't be able to get to you expeditiously or quickly. So go in, complete all your missing assignments, and then if you have an assignment that you did complete and you got a poor grade on it, resubmit it. say, Miss McCoy, I would like to resubmit the assignment. I will unsubmit it for you so that you can have the opportunity to resubmit it. So you can get a better grade, so you can get A's. Come on, guys. Let's shoot for the sky. Well, because that's only the starting point. Let's just shoot for that. Remember that assignments are due no later than Friday at 12 noon. There will be no exceptions. I have been completely lenient with you all. I let you do things at your leisure. If you reach out to me, you know, I haven't even really truly and honestly given any late grades, but there will be no exceptions to the 12 noon. If you do not have those, at least those 6 assignments that are in the Home Access Center completed, then your grade will be reflective of that. Okay? Meaning your grade is going to be whatever you did or didn't do. Okay? So without further ado, I'm going to let you Falcons go. Be great. Get this work done. Let's learn a little bit more about mythology with that video. Let's finish any missing assignments and just have a great Friday, Junior.